Welcome, David,
Thank you. Thank you for
and
having me.
welcome everyone. So I can see you are in the campus, David.
Yeah. So I decided to do the vlog from campus today. I'm
Mm-hmm,
actually on my way to. I was supposed to drive to Linköping.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I remembered we have a vlog. So I thought I'll just swing by real quick, do the vlog, and
Yeah,
continue.
it's good that we have you with us, and also because you were an active member yesterday during our Slow TV day.
Yeah, on the ship. I don't know now how many actually saw that part, but yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
was fun.
Yes, it was fun, and let me share my screen. Uh, I guess, yeah, you can see my screen. And yes, this week I would say one of the busiest week for us with lots of activities, in particular yesterday.
Mm.
But we started our week as usual uh, using guest lectures. So we had two guest lectures this week. One from Metric from Intertech on quality on Tuesday, and then one from the professor in Harvard, Vijay Reddy, on TinyML, so machine learning in IoT. And that was on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And we also had this workshop on Tuesday, I guess. So, do you have any feedback on the workshops, how it's going, David?
Yeah, I wasn't there on the two first sessions on Tuesday, but in the afternoon or in the evening, I think I got this feeling that most are approaching the end of the course, and most have gotten the sensors to work. Most can have now begun to visualize their data, and I think for most it's only the report or the tutorial left to
Mhm.
write. So
Yeah,
yeah,
we also started getting some questions on tutorials or final reports. So I
yeah,
guess people are wrapping up their projects,
yeah,
and that's a good news for us and for the TAs.
yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Then we yeah. Otherwise, I don't know. Some still had some troubles with Node-RED, the tech stack. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, we'll see how if anyone asks any questions now this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, fingers crossed. And
yeah,
also because I guess next week is the final week for workshop and any help that you can get from our great TAs, right?
yeah. So next week is uh, all about project specific help.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not gonna do any walkthroughs.
Or any new stuff, yeah. So,
Yeah, we won't be introducing any new technologies, or it's only gonna be specific project specific. So if you have a specific a question specific to your project, then that's
mhm.
what will be there for. So yeah.
And yes, then this week on Thursday, that is yesterday, we had this really fun and interactive slow TV day. I would not say it's slow TV because so many things happened that it's not slow TV anymore. What do you think, David?
Yeah, no, it was definitely interesting. Now, I didn't watch all of them because I was on the on the ship and was so busy with getting the last sensors working, and
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, so I didn't attend all these sessions, but
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw a bit of the Beehive
Mm-hmm.
presentation. Yeah, it was interesting. Now, the Beehive one One interesting fact is that I already know a bit about that beehive because I have two friends. You probably know them, Amr and Danny. They did their thesis in working with the beehive. So they did sound analysis to kind of determine when the queen leaves the hive,
Okay.
because there is an economical aspect. If you have the queen escaping,
Mhm.
then oftentimes almost half of the population will leave with the queen. So
Okay.
it's a loss. It's a big loss.
Hmm. But when
Yeah.
they're coming back, they're not coming back with honey or what?
No. So once they escape, they don't return usually.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have half of the population escaping and yeah,
Okay. Following the queen.
never to come back.
Yes, and yes, I was talking about Slow TV Day, and we had basically a number of activities, including, of course, this Beehive project that I think also was interviewed by SVT and other medias, like I think also radio. So the project started from home, showing the IoT and how connected cars are useful, making our life safer and smarter, uh, using some visualization, some data, and some machine learning stuff. And then one of the big part of the day was 3D printing. So basically, me and Tobias, one of my colleague, uh, started building the 3D print by putting together every bit, nuts and screws, but we could not finish. It was basically a long project, and one day would not be enough for finishing a medium-sized 3D printer. But indeed, we had some printing activities also, 3D printing activities. And I have in my office the finished product. I think in this morning you saw this product already. So this was the product that we printed yesterday as part of our 3D printing activities. And
Right.
I really like this product with me in my office. And then we also have this book club with Martin. Martin is one of our colleagues who was discussing about a book on cybersecurity and security in general in the context of IoT, and the Beehive projects that we discussed, and the IoT in ships. So I guess, David, you were working on this project for IoT in ships for a while. So what type of sensors? I mean, I could not also follow your videos because I was working somewhere else.
Um,
So what type of sensors you have in the ships?
so these are well, these are industrial sensors. So we have some sensors called strips. We also showed them in the video yesterday.
Hmm.
So what these are basically just strips with maybe temperature and humidity sensors attached to them. They some of them also have a magnetic sensor, so they feel this magnetic interference or disturbance
Hmm.
in the field. So just to determine whether for example, door or a window is closed or not.
Hmm.
Then we had these passive infrared sensors. I have one of them here. I don't know if
Okay.
you can see it.
Uh,
Yeah. So what these do, they're passive infrared, so they detect if there is a movement or these also pick up on or measure the temperature and humidity. The
mhm,
battery life in these is pretty impressive. So if you have a normal transition, which is some of them report once a day,
mhm.
then their battery is set to last up to 10 years. So
Okay.
quite impressive. But yeah, these are the sensors. Then we had a particle sensor also, just to measure the uh, particle. The
Mhm.
PM1 and
And then
2.5 and
where this data are going? I mean, all the sensor data.
So all the sensor data is saved on IGU,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and then used to visualize, also using IGU. So what IGU offers is a database and then three core services.
Mm-hmm.
So one is for access right management, and then you have one for location management. So for example, if I have a number of locations, for example, now we have this ship, or in one ship you have several decks.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Yeah.
want to monitor each location individually, you can do that. And finally, you have a automation, basic automation. I don't know if it's basic, but you have an automation service where you can, for example, set sensors to notify you as long as something happens.
Mm-hmm.
So based on events, you get notified.
Yes, and also we provided this link on this agenda also, Slow TV Day. So if you haven't still watched the video, it's a like 11 hour or 12 hours video. You don't need to watch the full video in one shot, so you can watch in your spare time. So
Yeah,
go through this video and find out more about what David worked on using IoT technologies in the ships. We have a ship for our Maritime Academy in Kalmar. And then we also did some data visualization, mainly measuring the water temperature, basically from the Baltic Sea, that Frederick and other colleagues had a bath yesterday.
yeah,
I guess that visualization was using the data cake. I don't remember the exactly.
yeah. I think it was data cake.
Mhm. And we were also fortunate to have with us Peter Aronson, our rector or the vice chancellor of Linnaeus University. He is a historian, so he has a deep knowledge in history, also in terms of technologies and in infrastructure and so on. So he shared his experience in the context of technology mixing with history. We also got people from PyCom, and I guess there was some good discussion with Daniel Thal and PyCom people, what type of services they're providing, what's their stand in the context of IoT and so on. And all these discussions, I guess, became more lively and interactive when people or students like you started sending questions on YouTube and on Discord. So it was not like just a slow TV thing. It was more of a interactive slow TV thing, I would say.
Yeah,
And we also got a Martin Grain, who is also professor in our Linnaeus University of Human Geography. And he shared his experience in terms of IoT, climate change, and many other aspects. And yes, plans for the next week. So in the next week, we will start again. So on Monday, we don't have anything to deliver. So you can work on your project, you can work on your report or tutorial. On Tuesday, you have these workshops, one of the final workshops. On Wednesday, we have our final guest lecture on fog computing. And fog computing is an emerging concept, or maybe it's already in use in practice, especially by the IoT applications, because you want to save time, you want to save money on the computation. So relying always on cloud computing might not be a good idea for IoT applications. And that will be delivered by Neda Maleki. So Neda Maleki is also one of our new going to be colleagues. So she will be working as a researcher with our department, uh, especially with our IoT lab or IoT club we have here. So you got get to know what she has been doing in terms of research, and she will be introducing basically the concept of fog computing. Again, then on Thursday we have our final, so I would say in quote unquote final workshop. And David, you want to say about something about this final opportunity?
Yeah, just make sure to attend if you're unsure of anything, whether it's about the tutorial itself or if you have some loose ends in terms of implementation. Just come by and make sure you get your questions answered.
Mm-hmm.
Because after that, of course, now the world won't end after this week, but we might be
Yeah.
a lot slower in Discord. So we might be very busy and don't get back in time. So
Mm-hmm. Yes, I mean, even if you, I mean, we assume that you are working with your project and report, and even if you feel that there could need some help, even we don't have some formal sessions or dedicated sessions, you can ask questions anytime to any of us, and to the TAs, and we will be happy to help you out. So it's not the end of the world on July 29th. Uh, you have to, I mean, submit your report on August 2nd, I would say, yes.
mhm.
So basically, you have 3-4 days after Thursday. If you want help during those 3-4 days, don't hesitate to contact any of us. But this deadline for submitting your final report or tutorial on August 2nd is basically hard deadline, because also we need to move to our next phase, that is peer review. And if you don't finish your report or submit your report on time, basically it will be very hard to manage the course or to finish the course on time, I would say. But even if you, what we also did last year, if you cannot submit your report really by this time, that is August 2nd, there could be a potential opportunity to finish maybe in the future attempt. So we had this opportunity last year also. Uh, but you are welcome to finish if you want by in the first attempt, and that would be a good thing for you and us in terms of credits and in terms of grading and so on.
Yeah.
And we are saying that there are different levels of grading, but even if you are aiming for a small grade or a lower grade or the default grade, that is C, you are you are welcome to make a video of on your project and put it on your link on your report, the link of the YouTube video. So that would be that will be more interesting also for the reviewers and the graders who will be looking at your report or looking at your project, what have been done or what you have done. And also in terms of quizzes, uh, the week 33 or August 13th is the deadline for all the quizzes. So if you want to receive your grades, there is no alternative that you can receive the grade without doing the quizzes. And as you can see, I showed the numbers here. So quiz 1 was done by 212 people, little bit less for quiz 2. Quiz 3 is still a lot more people to go, but quiz 4 will be published next week, so probably on Monday or Tuesday. So you will have plenty of time to finish that quiz 4 as well. But make sure that you finish all the quizzes by August 13th to get a grade. And anything else you want to add, David?
No, I just want to say try to do as much as you can now from starting from today until the end of next week. So do yourself a favor and try to do as much as possible,
Mm-hmm.
both in implementation and in the tutorial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also take this opportunity to finalize your project or report on Tuesday and Thursday based on the workshops that we have. And I guess all of you or all of the TAs are available to help, right, on these workshops.
Yeah.
So it will be good for everyone.
Yeah.
And let me see if I have any questions so far. I don't see any questions. So if you have any questions, ask right now. Else, David also have to start his driving towards Linköping, and I don't want to make him wait.
Yeah, yeah. No, we got one question here. Let's see. Hi, for the presentation, I wonder if it would be okay using my Moodle and record the supported with the supported Kaltura capture. It worked fine when I tested it. If I publish it, it seems to be available as many other videos from Eleanor. So yeah, you
So
probably should.
basically, we are not using my Moodle or this uh, LNU cloud platform for putting your videos, uh, and we did not use my Moodle at all for this course. And your gradings will be not reported in my Moodle either. So it's better to use a simple YouTube unlisted video and put the link in your tutorial or final report. So that would be more simpler and easier solution, I would say. And I think some people are. So Hamed asked a question in a higher grade channel. So did
Says in project tutorial description, there are details as requirements like the following section, which ask us to describe environment setup in details. We have several ways to do it, and to do it, one of them could be take screenshot of each step and try to describe in detail, which makes the tutorial very long. The second way is to give a link to PyCom documentation, which they describe details and only add some explanation about issues we have faced and how we can solve them. Which one is better to follow?
Yeah, I think in terms of setup, like basic setup, that is really the basic ones. You don't need to give PyCom links or any other screenshots that are obvious, but try to, so when it comes to computer setup, try to give a high level steps like in few lines. You don't need to provide screenshots of, for example, Atom or screenshots of VS Code that your device is connected or your device is running on, and so on. So try to be in brief, and also make sure that your report are not really long. Yeah, that's what you mentioned also, that if you add everything, your report will be very long. So we are not looking for a long report. Try to make it as possible as brief, but also as appropriate as possible, like uh, make it self-contained. But we don't need basic stuff to be included in the report that are obvious things.
Yeah. For these lengthy tutorials, he wrote about the PyCom documentation. So when it comes to very lengthy step-by-step tutorials, you're fine if you just refer to them. But when you refer to them, also try to mention the title of the tutorial and maybe add
Yeah.
some description. So, for example, last year, I connected my PyCom to TTN. Now I did this, but I didn't mention or describe each step I did, because these things, as we know, change. So
Yeah.
you're fine by just referring to what tutorial you followed and maybe giving a short description why you
Yeah.
use that specific particular tutorial. Yeah.
Yeah, but in very brief manner.
Yeah.
Because if your report gets longer, remember that your report will be reviewed by 3 other people, so it will take time also for them to review a long report
Yeah. Yeah.
that we don't want. So thanks everyone, and thank you, David, for
Thank
joining me.
you. Thank you for having me.
And I wish you a safe drive, and have a nice weekend, everyone.
Yeah. You too. Bye bye.
Yes, bye bye.